What's up, man? How you doing? I made it. I made it. You made it. I made it. We made it. Oh,
Thank you for
jeez.
listening to the TTalks.net podcast, the show that brings you information, guidance, and
T-Talks.
support to
T-Talks.
entrepreneur minded individuals like yourself. TTalks.net will give you something to talk about tomorrow. This isn't the
T-Talks.
daily show, but this is the show where you'll get everything. You'll get a fiesta of a mix with the old and the new. They will give you tips and insights into everyday business, big wins in everyday life. They have a
And good evening. We're having some technical difficulties with our intro, but we did hear you say we made it.
We
Good
made it.
evening. How are you?
We're back. Hello from Naples and Hollywood, from Florida to around the world. T-Talks are back live, ladies and gentlemen. Facebook Live T-Talks. We give you an action-packed 30 minutes. Try to get it 5 nights a week. This is episode what, Ralph?
47.
47 and counting. Ladies and gentlemen, 47 episodes. A little clap for that. So what's up, man? How was your day? What's going on? What's
Ah,
cooking?
just another productive day. Saw our crypto go
Dude, you took it
haywire.
right out of my mouth, my mind. Are you still on your Dogecoin, high crypto, high Eurytheums, killing it? These are today's topics. Why? Because it's happening now. It's live, unheard of, unprecedented. Nothing has ever seen this much of a. I don't know what it is, but crazy.
Well, I'm just glad that I kind of joined in into the Ethereum Classic. Believe it or not, I decided
Dude, everybody's buying that like it's on clearance.
I think that's
Holy
part of the reason
crap.
why it kind of pushed up. And
Dude, I have so many different coin wallets now. I got Coinbase, Voyager, Dogecoin. What else? I don't know. Crypto.com.
Toro.
Coinbase, you do them all too because you get all the referral fees from all of them, and your friend gets the referral fees. So you sign up. Next thing you know, I'm on 7 different platforms.
And welcome to marketing.
Don't tell
Guerrilla
my wife.
marketing. Anyways, going back
Ride that bull,
into
baby.
getting right back into topic.
What is the TikTok topic? Is it time management? We're doing that all week, right?
That is correct. We're gonna go
What?
ahead and talk about tackling procrastination.
And what before you touch base on procrastination, I love this show, Ralph. I really do. One, because it sharpens our sword, man. It really does in our craft and our mindset. When you're on your grind and you're on your game, anything is possible, right? But this gives us a daily refresher. I used to be a huge procrastinator, man. Like from high school age, 17 to I don't know about 26. Right, a couple years after my son was born, you can call me Mr. Procrastinator.
Well, I think that everybody at one point or another, we fall into that comfort zone that, oh, I'll get to it later, and then later comes and you're like, well, I'll do it tomorrow. And because the one thing that we think that we own is time, and time is just borrowed.
Listen, time is the only thing that me, you, and Elon Musk, President Trump, President Biden all have the same amount of time. Every one of us wake up different times, go to sleep different times. It's on the same time.
I think we're gonna start with a great quote by, I think everybody heard of Thomas Jefferson.
Love him. Studied him for a little bit. Go ahead.
I am a great believer in luck, and I find that the harder I work, the more I have of it.
And that's the truth. Things happen in numbers, right?
And a lot of times we say, oh, anytime that we, hear a friend that has made it and is very successful, what's the first thing that comes to our mind, or most of
That
the people's
person.
mind?
That person works.
No, no, he's lucky. Isn't the first thing
I,
that comes to mind
I
for
used to
most
say that a
people?
lot, man. I used to say that a lot, but I kind of changed my perception on that
But
for some reason.
everybody, no, he's lucky.
He's lucky.
Elon Musk, he's lucky. Um, Bill
That
Gates,
guy,
he was lucky.
dude, that's gonna be the most massive divorce in history. Sorry to throw that in there.
No, I
You
think
thought
Jeff
Bezos got him?
was
Bezos
there.
still gonna beat him?
Yeah.
All right, that's an
Well,
expensive divorce.
the first thing we're gonna go is procrastination means delaying a task or even several tasks that should be a priority. The ability to overcome procrastination and tackle the important tasks is a hallmark of the most successful people out there. So, if you're able to procrastinate less and prioritize your time, success will be in your side. And,
100%.
Sometimes people measure success by how big the bank account is. Some people measure success of how many people actually visit you at your funeral. You know, I
Don't show up to my funeral. Just don't. We'll be good.
I measure success on the ability to see other people that I have helped being successful. That's how I measure success. The more people I have touched and have changed their status, it's the greatest joy and the greatest success. And they're all success stories. So, anyways, back to
it really is, and we are like on that. And I can even remember my early coaching baseball days before I got into running businesses and training and sales training and running a sales team. But it goes all the way back to coaching the baseball. Any success is relevant when it comes to that. Good feelings, good juju's. We all do it. Tea talks. We're giving back. That's what we're here for. Ralph, Alex, we're good guys.
We're all good guys. We're good guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I
Pay
mean?
attention, huh?
I didn't
All
even
right,
have my cheering crowd today. Oops.
I know you're dropping it on the DJ equipment. Yeah, come on, pick it up. So why we procrastinate? No clear deadline, inadequate resources. Where to begin? Did we touch base on this already?
No, this is fresh.
Feel overwhelmed, lack of passion, fear of failure. These all are very potent, and I can, real life experience each one of them.
Oh, absolutely. And there are 9 different ways that, as a common rule, to overcome
9.
procrastination.
Okay.
And, first one, delete.
Delete, the button right here on the keyboard, delete. The second one, delegate. Then you have Nike, just do it.
Ask for advice.
Chop it up a little bit, What do you mean, like chop it up? Do a little here, a little there?
That's it.
That's it. The 15-minute rule. I like that one.
One of the things that sometimes meetings could be non-productive. So typically the best way of accelerating a meeting is having stand-up meetings. And there's other ways, but the fastest way is, making sure you have an agenda. But the 15-minute rule is that try to stick to anything that you do within 15 minutes.
No, 100%, everything. And then take a break and then go back at it. We talked about it yesterday with the quick book and the one thing, there's no multitasking. Focus on something for 15 minutes. Switch, go something else. Put your undivided attention towards that subject. Have a clear deadline. We talk about that all the time. Write it down. Clear deadline. What's the date you want to get X done by?
And I know we touched on it yesterday and in a couple of our episodes in the past, but make sure you have a reward. If I get to this is what I'm going to do. If I make $100,000 this year, I'm going to go ahead and spend $5,000 in an epic vacation. of course, knowing that you already have some money set aside.
But how could you spend $5,000 on an epic vacation right now when you're looking at your crypto wallets and be like, "What if we're staying home? I'll throw the Hawaii luau thing in the living room
Well,
or invest."
everything is relative. I mean,
No, for sure.
it's like Bill Gates' vacation. He probably will say 5,000. That might be a drop in the bucket.
You ever read the story or listen to the story about Elon Musk does not take vacations anymore?
No.
He's only taken like two. One was like the eighth rocket that blew up and it almost put him bankrupt. He decided he was going to go on vacation. Then his rocket blew up, and then he went on vacation like Thailand. Don't quote me the place, but he got like sick very bad, and he's like, "I'm not going on vacation anymore."
Well, I think that I'm a firm believer of work hard, play hard. And I don't necessarily take like week vacation, but I do take small getaways. And sometimes Herb, what did you do this weekend? And the reason
In
why
Orlando, Louisiana. I'm in Fort Myers. Nate, I'm like, say hi to me, man.
what happens is that taking a whole week, it just kind of, for me, it's like you're too much away from the action, and when you come back, it's more of a headache than anything else. But short spur vacation, just some time off. You kind of need that recharge that battery. But again, everybody has their like to say, different strokes for different folks. I prefer to take short spurs vacation than long vacation, and I think probably in the last maybe 4 or 5 years, I actually have done like 1 week. And
Well, good for you. I'm a firm believer you can take the work with you. Why take off? Bring the laptop, do what you need to do, get on the road.
Unfortunately, every time that I've gone on vacation and I have been away for 7 days, I have never not answered my phone or deal with any work issue. I
Always connected.
always connected. So even
That's
though I'm
life
away,
of an entrepreneur, business owner, you're always connected. There's no running away from it. Unless you go on a cruise and you can only check your emails, but there's no cruises right now
I
because of
did
COVID.
take a cruise last year, and that was a little rough, but I actually
You get to go to the little kiosk, right? And you do your email on a little kiosk.
Wi-Fi. Everything
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
through Wi-Fi, text messages, and
Awesome.
anyway, back to
So reward and then removing the distractions. Those are always huge. Remove the distractions. It's 2021. COVID hit. There's a lot of us working from home, part-time more than the office, and there can be anything to distract you. Whether it's going to the fridge, grabbing a snack, turning on the news, ESPN, scrolling on Facebook, Instagram, social media, anything that's not relevant to your day. It's in your working hours. Remove it. Get it out of there.
awesome. Now, eat the frog.
Eat that frog. Let's see this
Eat
story.
that frog. The frog is the task that will have the greatest impact on achieving your goals, and the task that you are most likely to procrastinate starting. Yeah. That's what we mean by eat the frog. The key to
That's what
reaching
you
high
mean.
levels of performance and productivity is for you to develop the lifelong habit of tackling your major tasks first thing each morning. Don't expend excessive time planning what you will do. You must develop a routine of eating the frog before you do anything else, and without taking too much time to think about it. So a lot of times, and there's some people around me that they have criticized me because I'm a firm believer that you can't just sit back and analyze and make sure that everything needs to be 100% precise in order for you to roll it out. I'm okay with a 90%, 95%, and we'll figure the other 10% or the 7%.
No, 100%. You can't sit back and wait for everything to be perfect. You got to get in there, do it, and then you find out what you got to adjust.
Yep. So, I
Eat
think
that frog.
Yep. But going right along, the crisis management.
Yes, Module 6, Crisis Management. Love it.
Crisis management.
With better planning, improved efficiency, and increased productivity, the number of crises you encounter should decline. However, you can't plan for everything. So in this module, we'll look at what to do when a crisis occurs. It's a nice little quote by John F. Kennedy here. In a crisis, be aware of danger, but recognize the opportunity.
You know, when the storm hits, these are the questions that you should kind of ask yourself. And is, you know, what happened? What were the cause? What will happen next? What events will this impact? And who else needs to know about this? Well,
sound the horn.
So, you know, now that you have asked those questions and you have the answer of those questions, this is the time where you create a plan by, now that you identify the problem, you decide on a solution, you break it down into parts, and then you create timers. And, you know, crisis management, back in the days during my MBA, I actually took a class that was 8 weeks long, just on crisis management.
Oh, geez. You know, that's huge. And that's one thing, you know, early on with the Direct TV days that we talked, you know, now that we're official and we've launched Ralph, we have to go back kind of a couple episodes, you know, tell our audience a little bit about us and our backgrounds, how we met. We got to do that all again. But the Direct TV days, right? I can just still, it's instilled in the back of my head. We're in a position, you know, we're talking about time management, but you're talking about solutions. You know, there always is a problem. Every day there's a problem. You know, employees, managers, bosses, every day, you know, you're going to have a problem every day. But where is that solution? The most successful, you know, people in handling a crisis, they move quick, decisive, but carefully. Solution-oriented people, you will always prevail. Don't harp on the negatives and the problems. Find the solution, you know. You might have to switch it up, get creative, but the solution's huge.
And when we talk about solution, we're talking about executing the plan. So now you created a plan. The plan is as good on paper, but it's not as good in real life if you don't execute it. So now you execute the plan. While executing the plan, you're going to continue evaluating if the plan is working. You want to make sure that you stay organized and on top of the events and make sure you deliver communications to others. You know, a lot of times, most of the issues you have within organizations, it has to do a little bit with, number one, communication. You know, a lot of times when we're in crisis, we might turn into a turtle. Okay, and you know what a turtle does, right?
Put its head back in the shell.
It puts its head back in the shell, stays in the corner, and it's all.
Oh no!
Oh no, Beaker! I don't know what to do.
You know, some people do freak out like that, and others will go in the shell and not say a word.
And here is where you want to make sure that you communicate. Either you have an issue with your customer, communicate with your customer. If you have an issue in operation, make sure you talk to the key. You know, to the key people in the organization. There's a client of mine that is growing very rapidly, and you know, they're turning from a mom and pop to no longer $700,000 or $800,000. They're more of a $3 million. And
awesome. No, those are great success stories. You know,
I mean, I consider it a great success, but the one thing that they don't have a what's it called? They don't have a flow chart for their process. They don't have a they don't have a organization chart, and there's a lot of, you know. And now that you have more people in the organization, you have more people trying to control and people demanding and communicating that shouldn't be communicating. So what happens is that you don't have an infrastructure to ensure and that's the reason why the military works so well. You know, you have your general, you got your lieutenants, you got your, and then
You know,
got
it's
your
only like
sergeant.
one person. You're talking to no more than 10 people at any given time. You know, you can even break it down smaller than that in small corporations. Like, boss talks to the two bosses talk to the four other bosses talk to 8 people. It works its way down the line like a pyramid.
Yes.
But you're 100%. That is why the military is so successful and can deliver all these vaccines across America so fast.
Hoorah, hoorah,
Hoorah!
hoorah. Yes, and I do believe the company should have an organization chart. The I think that you know, this is where you delegate. This is where you kind of make sure that you deliver clear expectations and responsibility, because when you have two people having the same responsibility or they're crossing over, I mean, literally, I had an individual that was on a lower level in the organization telling somebody higher level in the organization that they just didn't want to do it,
Hmm.
or you know, uh, that she didn't care or he didn't care about the scenario, even though this person was in the hierarchy of things, he was much higher. And I'm a firm believer of ranks, and you know, as normal, you should be respecting people for people, but you know, there's a place for everything. And back to the crisis management, back to
Back to the T-Talk
executing
topic.
the plan. The one thing that everybody should take away from from the process is that you should learn why the scenario happened. You got to learn from the events, and most important, you got to be prepared. And this is why most successful companies will have what we call standard operating procedure. Things are written down, and when in doubt, you check it out. And that way, you know that every single time that person is always going to do the same thing. Why do you think that we write the scripts?
You know, oh man, you know why does listen? You go to McDonald's here in Naples. You go to McDonald's in Hollywood, right? You can go to McDonald's in Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Georgia to California. Them French fries, they taste exactly the same.
Yes, they
That
do.
timer is set to that same specific time. If you don't want to set them timers, the French fries and the timer for that long, look, you ain't working at McDonald's. Like, they won't hire you. They will fire you. You set that McDonald's timer to the exact minutes that those French fries come out crispy. Is the same reason why my organization, your organization, any other organization, no matter what product, service, commodity, you have a script. Read it. Read. Like, how many
Read
times?
it. You engrave it in your brain.
Like, read it. Like,
You know,
please. Like I can't. You know that. Man, that would stress me out. That one right there, especially for somebody that's you know, we have all these systems and structures and things in place so you can track things, right? So you can even break down the pitch into so many different segments. But if somebody's not going to use that pitch, and you want to try 25 different goes at the play, you know, it's never going to work. And that's one of the more frustrating things you try to get across to somebody that you're trying to help.
All right.
Help me, help you.
So what we're gonna do now is kind of do a little review, since we're coming to time, and you know, the first question I can think of is that what habit will help you overcome procrastination, and that is basically have a clear deadline. If you have a clear deadline, it will help the procrastination. In the eat the frog analogy, what does the frog represent? A task
Does your
that will have a great impact.
great impact? Yes.
And last but not least, what is procrastination? Is delay a task or several tasks that will should be a priority. Um, Actually, I think we can probably do two more on it.
Got a couple more. Go ahead. Let's
Which
say
of these? No. Which way to overcome procrastination can be defined as help from a trusted mentor, supervisor, coach, or expert can give you some great insight on where to start and the steps for completing a project.
is it A, delegate, delete it, do it now, or ask for advice?
I'm gonna go with ask for an advice.
Ask for advice. Tell him what he's won.
That is
All right, let's
the
see
right
here.
answer.
To reduce the temptation of procrastination, each actionable step on a project should take no more than how many minutes to complete?
We talked about the 15-minute rule.
The 15-minute rule. Love it. Who gives the advice? Break it down into the ridiculous.
I believe that was Bob Proctor.
Wasn't it Bob Proctor that we touched base on?
No,
Let's see.
No, we didn't, but I know the
Nah.
answer.
We didn't, right? It's not even up there. I'm looking for
Yeah,
it.
it is. Okay.
All right.
What does the saying, if you have to eat two frogs, eat the ugliest one first, mean?
What does it mean, Ralph?
If you have two important tasks before you start with the biggest, hardest, and the most important task first.
Love
It's
it.
real easy.
That is. Let's see. I'm back. Let's go module 5. Which item is a reason we generally procrastinate? Don't know where to begin. Task feels overwhelming. No clear deadline. I think it's all above there.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, so let's talk about a little bit about crisis. When a crisis hit, you should implement the first fix that comes to your mind. Is that true or false, there, Alex?
False.
That will be false. The best approach when creating a plan during a crisis is to
Identify the problem. Decide on the solution. Create a timeline. All of the above.
that is correct. As you execute the plan, you should continue to evaluate it.
True.
You should always, the process,
Always evaluate.
the process, and this is more of a Six Sigma mentality that you can always improve. So, I think
Always.
an important step to look at is see what is learned after a crisis is over, as it will help prevent it from happening in the future.
Love it.
True.
True.
Let's see. What should help the number of crises you encounter decline?
Better planning.
You think so?
I think so.
Absolutely. So it's better to have plan and fail than no plan and fail.
Yeah, right. That plan, fail, okay. At least you can adjust. We're always adjusting. We're always evaluating. We're always having fun here on T Talks, staying on topic, giving you some time management topics. Talking about all week, So if you're tuning in, have any questions, please reach out, like, subscribe. Sharing is caring. We're here to have fun 5 nights a week.
All right. So in a crisis, which question will not help you gather and analyze the data?
Well, not. Who's to blame for this?
Pointing fingers when you're in the middle of a crisis is probably not a productive thing to do. I think you should focus more on the
Solution.
solution versus the creator.
Listen, we're looking for solution-oriented people in this world. We need all the solution-oriented people. People finding solutions. Please come out of the woodwork.
Now, I know we didn't really touch on this, but what can be defined as the time that you have before the situation moves out of control or becomes worse?
We'll call that the threshold time.
So the threshold time is that time. It's almost you can consider it the critical time. In a situation.
It's that critical. It's that life or death. It's coming to a boil.
during executing of a plan, what is important to remember?
Let's say stay organized and on top of events to make sure that your plan is still applicable.
That is correct. So, what disaster will you be unable to prepare for?
We're going to go with illness, fire, and theft.
And honestly, you can prepare for all. If it's an illness, you have a succession plan. If it's a fire, you should have a fire drill. If it's theft, you should have kind of things in place to make sure that that doesn't happen. Either double checking. If you're depositing money in the bank, there's always two people. If you're counting money, there's always two people. There are things that you can do to make sure that some of the stuff doesn't happen. It doesn't mean that it won't happen, but you're going to deter as much as you can. You can prepare by putting cameras in the store. You can put camera in the office. How can you prepare for fire? Making sure you got your fire extinguishers in place, that they're checked. So you can actually prepare for almost everything.
Yes, you can.
So there's no excuse for being unprepared. The only reason why we might be unprepared is because we procrastinated about it, and that's why we didn't do it. And a lot of times,
100%.
and sometimes what happens is that because we don't have the time management in our hand, this is where things kind of go awry. And now we don't have time to do the most critical things that we need to do, but we might have time to look at Dodge and see where it is now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will end it with that.
All right, since we were having sound issues,
Time of your life.
Thank you for tuning in
And
to
thank you for tuning
ttalks.net.
in.
If you have any questions, comments, or something you want us to talk about, email us at
Leave it
Raphael
listed.
at ttalks.net.
Email it.
Or comment below.
Thank you for our sponsors.
Please follow us on YouTube at
Remote
ttalks.net
Bookkeepers,
and Facebook
Digital Masters
at
Company,
ttalks.net. Please
Sunrise
rate us,
Roofing,
and don't forget
all our
that sharing
sponsors.
is
Thanks so
caring.
much.
Thank you for your support. Till next time, we will Talk later.
Later.
and this is Raphael from Hollywood saying good night, good day, hasta la vista.
And I'm Alex from Naples.